Hey, everyone! Today we're going to talk about how small things in our daily lives can make blood sugar levels spike. Did you know that stress, lack of routine, and even body fat can influence this? Think of sugar like a villain that can cause serious problems if we don't take care of it. Let's understand how to avoid these dangers. Stay tuned because these tips are super important for keeping your health in check. Before we go on, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. The upcoming videos will have a series of content to help you improve your health. You don't want to miss them. 1. Stress. How it raises blood sugar. You know when you're super worried about something, like a tough exam or a stressful situation at work, and it feels like your whole body is on edge? Well, that's stress. And stress doesn't just mess with our minds, it can also throw off blood sugar levels. Let me explain how this happens in an easy way, like we're just chatting. When we get stressed, the body starts producing a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is known as the stress hormone because it shows up during moments when you're under pressure. But what you might not know is that this hormone has a strong connection to raising blood sugar levels. What is cortisol and why does it increase? Cortisol is a hormone that your body releases when it feels like you're in a dangerous or tense situation. It acts like the body's protector, getting you ready to fight or flee from whatever is causing the stress. But to do this, it gives you a boost of energy by releasing sugar into the bloodstream. This extra sugar comes from the reserves your body keeps just for emergencies. The problem is that, nowadays, stress often doesn't come from real dangers like running from a wild animal, but from everyday things: work, school, bills, family problems. All this makes the body release more cortisol and, as a result, more sugar into the bloodstream. But since you're not actually running or fighting, that sugar isn't used and stays in your body, raising your blood sugar. Chronic stress. When the problem becomes constant. Imagine being stressed all the time. It's like your body is always on high alert, constantly releasing cortisol. With that, blood sugar levels stay high for longer periods. This is what we call chronic stress. This constant stress overloads the body, making it harder to keep blood sugar in check, which can be dangerous, especially for those who already have diabetes or are at risk of developing it. When stress becomes part of your routine, blood sugar levels can stay elevated for a long time, and that can lead to many problems. Besides increasing the risk of diabetes, it can also cause complications for the heart, kidneys, and even the eyes. Signs that stress is raising your blood sugar. You might be wondering, how do I know if stress is affecting my blood sugar? Well, some signs can give you a clue. If you notice that you're feeling more tired than usual, even without doing much physical effort, or if you're craving sweets and carbs more often, it might be a sign that your blood sugar is rising due to stress. Also, feeling very nervous or irritated by small things could be another hint that something's not right. And don't forget this important detail. Even if you're eating well and exercising, stress can interfere with your efforts to control blood sugar. That's because it makes your body produce more glucose, no matter what you're eating. It's like the body ignores the normal rules and decides to act on its own. What can you do to control stress and blood sugar? Now that you know how stress can mess with your blood sugar, what can you do to fix it? The good news is that there are simple ways to reduce stress and prevent blood sugar from spiking too high. Deep breathing. When you feel stress coming on, take a moment and breathe deeply. Inhale through your nose, hold for a second, and slowly exhale through your mouth. This helps calm both your body and mind. Physical exercise. Moving your body is one of the best ways to fight stress. It can be a walk, dancing, or even jumping rope. The important thing is to release tension and, as a bonus, help lower blood sugar. A good sleep. Sleep is essential for keeping cortisol in check. Try to sleep at least 7 to 8 hours a night. When we don't get enough sleep, the body tends to produce more cortisol, which can raise blood sugar. A meditation or yoga. These practices help calm the mind and relax the body. Spending a few minutes each day meditating or doing yoga can make a big difference in your stress levels. Talk about what's worrying you. Sometimes, keeping everything to yourself can increase stress. Talking to someone you trust about your worries can help lighten the load. Now, I want to hear from you. How has stress impacted your health? Have you noticed that when you're stressed, your blood sugar goes up? Comment below how stress affects you in your daily life and what you do to deal with it. I'm curious to know. 2. Lack of routine. The body needs a sleep routine to regulate hormones. Have you ever noticed how hard it is to wake up early after a bad night's sleep? Or how you feel more tired and irritable when your sleep schedule is all messed up? This happens because the body needs a routine, especially when it comes to sleep, to function properly. And believe it or not, the lack of a good night's sleep can also raise blood sugar levels. Let me explain how this works. Why is a sleep routine so important? Our body is like a machine that needs proper care to work well. Part of that care involves having a sleep routine. When we sleep, the body takes the opportunity to rest and regulate many important processes, like hormone production. It's during sleep that the body organizes everything, like a big internal cleanup. If this sleep routine gets disorganized, the body becomes confused, especially when it comes to hormones. One of the hormones most affected by a lack of sleep is cortisol, the same one we talked about earlier. When you sleep poorly or at irregular times, the body senses something is wrong and starts releasing more cortisol, which, as we saw, can raise blood sugar levels. How lack of sleep affects blood sugar? Besides affecting cortisol, the lack of a good sleep routine also messes with other important hormones, like insulin. Insulin is the hormone that helps the body use the sugar in your blood as energy. When you don't sleep well, insulin doesn't work as efficiently, which causes sugar to stay in your bloodstream longer instead of being used for energy. So, if you have the habit of sleeping too little or going to bed at different times each day, your body may have a harder time controlling blood sugar. It's like it becomes out of sync, increasing the risk of blood sugar spikes. The role of melatonin. Another hormone that's directly related to sleep is melatonin. This is the hormone responsible for making you feel sleepy at the right time, helping you get a good night's sleep. When your sleep routine is messed up, melatonin production is disrupted, making it even harder to sleep. The problem is that, aside from helping you sleep, melatonin also influences how the body handles insulin. If you don't get enough sleep, or sleep at irregular times, melatonin production gets out of balance, which can make it harder to control blood sugar levels. Sleeping less increases hunger and cravings for sweets. Another curious effect of a lack of a good sleep routine is that it increases hunger, especially cravings for sweets and carb-heavy foods. This happens because when your body feels tired and low on energy, it tries to compensate by seeking foods that provide quick energy, like sweets. The problem is that when you consume a lot of sugar or quick carbs like bread and pasta, blood sugar spikes rapidly. For those who already struggle with controlling their blood sugar, like people with diabetes, this can be a big issue. How to create a good sleep routine. Now that you know how lack of sleep can affect blood sugar, what can we do to improve it? The good news is that creating a sleep routine isn't hard, and there are some simple tips that can help. Sleep and wake up at the same time every day. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This helps regulate your biological clock and improves the quality of your sleep. Avoid bright lights before bed. Artificial light, especially from phones, tablets, and computers, interferes with melatonin production. Try to avoid these devices for at least an hour before bed. Create a calm environment for sleeping. The bedroom should be a peaceful place, free from noise or too much light. If possible, keep the room dark and cool, as this helps with deeper sleep. Relax before bed. Developing a relaxation routine before bed, like taking a warm bath or reading a book, can help your body prepare for sleep. Avoid caffeine and sugar at night. Drinks like coffee and soda can disrupt sleep. Sugar can also make you feel more restless, making it harder to relax and fall asleep. The impact of a good night's sleep on blood sugar. When you follow a sleep routine and get a good night's rest, the body can better regulate hormone production, like cortisol and insulin. This helps keep blood sugar under control and reduces the risk of sharp spikes or drops in sugar levels. Plus, quality sleep improves mood, energy, and even memory. Sleeping well also makes it easier to adopt healthy habits, like exercising and maintaining a balanced diet, which further helps in controlling blood sugar levels. 3. Simple carbohydrates. Sugars and flours rapidly raise blood glucose levels. Have you ever noticed that right after eating something sweet or a piece of bread, it feels like you get an energy boost? This happens because simple carbohydrates, like those found in sugars and white flours, cause your blood sugar to rise very quickly. And while this may seem good in the short term, it can be quite dangerous, especially for people with diabetes or those looking to control their blood sugar levels. What are simple carbohydrates? To understand how simple carbohydrates affect glucose, let's first clarify what they are. There are two main types of carbohydrates: simple and complex. Simple carbohydrates. These are found in foods like sugar, honey, soft drinks, candies, bread, and pasta made from white flour. These foods are called simple because the body digests them very quickly. When you eat something high in simple carbs, it is broken down into glucose, sugar, rapidly and goes straight into the bloodstream. This causes blood glucose to rise quickly. The complex carbohydrates. These are found in foods like brown rice, beans, sweet potatoes, and oats. They take longer to digest, meaning the glucose is released more slowly and steadily into the blood, avoiding sugar spikes. Now, let's focus on simple carbohydrates and why they can be problematic for those needing to control their glucose. The impact of simple carbohydrates on blood glucose. When you eat something full of simple carbs, like a cookie, a piece of cake, or even a slice of white bread, your body quickly turns these foods into glucose. This glucose is absorbed into the blood, causing sugar levels to rise almost instantly. This is known as a glucose spike. Glucose spikes can be dangerous because they force the body to produce large amounts of insulin all at once. Insulin is the hormone responsible for taking the glucose from your blood and moving it into cells to be used for energy. When the body has to release a lot of insulin at once, it can become overworked. Over time, if the body is constantly dealing with glucose spikes, it can lead to insulin resistance, which is a major problem for people with type 2 diabetes. The energy comes quickly, but leaves quickly too. Another problem with simple carbohydrates is that the energy they provide lasts for a very short time. You know that feeling of hunger that appears shortly after eating a snack full of sugar or simple carbs. This happens because after the body uses up all the glucose quickly, you end up feeling low on energy again. It's like a roller coaster. The glucose goes up fast, but comes down fast too, making you want to eat more and more. If this happens frequently, your blood glucose levels become unregulated, constantly going up and down. For those with diabetes or anyone needing to keep glucose in check, this constant rise and fall can be dangerous. Examples of foods high in simple carbohydrates. Some of the most common foods in our diets are high in simple carbohydrates. Here are a few examples. Candy and sweets. These are almost pure sugar, which enters the blood quickly. Sugary drinks. Sodas, store-bought juices, and sweetened teas are loaded with sugar and cause blood glucose to spike rapidly. Bread and pasta made with white flour. These foods, while seemingly harmless, break down into glucose almost as quickly as pure sugar. Cakes, cookies, and snacks. In addition to being high in sugar, these foods usually contain refined flours, which increase the speed at which glucose enters the blood. How to avoid simple carbohydrates in everyday life. Now that you know how simple carbohydrates can harm glucose control, the next step is learning how to avoid them daily. Here are some practical tips. Choose whole foods. Swap white bread for whole grain, white rice for brown rice, and opt for whole grain pasta as well. These foods contain complex carbs, which take longer to digest, avoiding glucose spikes. Avoid sugary drinks. Instead of sugary sodas and juices, choose water, unsweetened teas, or natural juices without added sugar. Read food labels. Many processed foods, like cookies and snacks, have hidden sugars. Before buying, check the ingredient list to see if sugar is one of the first items. Increase fiber intake. Fiber helps slow down how quickly the body digests carbohydrates. Foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains are rich in fiber and help keep blood glucose more stable. The long-term effects of simple carbohydrates. If a person continues to eat many simple carbohydrates over time, this can lead to serious problems, such as the development of type 2 diabetes. The body starts having trouble dealing with constant glucose spikes, and insulin, which should help control blood sugar, begins to lose its effectiveness. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, where the body needs more and more insulin to manage glucose levels. In addition, frequent glucose spikes can cause inflammation in the body, increasing the risk of heart disease, kidney problems, and even nerve issues, such as diabetic neuropathy. 4. Infections. Flu, skin infections, or sinusitis can disrupt blood sugar levels. Did you know that when your body is fighting an infection, such as the flu or even a skin infection, your blood sugar levels can become unbalanced? This happens because the body responds to these illnesses by releasing hormones that, unfortunately, cause blood sugar to rise. Why do infections raise blood sugar? When we're sick, our body goes into defense mode. To fight the infection, It releases several stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones are great for helping the body combat the illness, but they have an unwanted side effect. They cause the liver to release more glucose into the blood. The result? Blood sugar levels spike, even if you're eating healthily. This can be especially dangerous for people with diabetes because controlling blood sugar can be more challenging during an infection. The body is already overworked trying to fight the illness, and at the same time, blood sugar levels become harder to manage. Flu, sinusitis, and skin infections. Let's take a closer look at how different types of infections can affect blood sugar. A flu. When we catch the flu, the body needs more energy to fight the virus, which can lead to an increase in blood sugar levels. Additionally, many medications used to treat the flu, such as syrups and tablets, may contain sugar or affect blood sugar. A sinusitis. A sinus infection also causes inflammation and an increase in stress hormones, which destabilizes blood sugar. Skin infections. When there's a skin infection, such as a wound that won't heal or a bacterial infection, the body increases glucose production to provide more energy to the immune system. Precautions during an infection. If you're dealing with an infection, it's important to pay close attention to your blood sugar control. Even if you're not eating more than usual, your blood sugar may rise due to your body's response to the infection. Here are a few tips to manage this. Stay hydrated. Water helps keep blood sugar levels under control and fights dehydration, which can worsen glucose levels. Follow the infection treatment correctly. Take the medications prescribed by your doctor, and if you have diabetes, inform them about the importance of choosing medications that won't further disrupt blood sugar levels. Monitor your glucose more often. During an infection, check your blood sugar more frequently to prevent dangerous spikes. 5. Body fat. Excess fat impairs insulin action. Have you ever heard that excess body fat can interfere with blood sugar control? This happens because the accumulation of fat, especially in the abdominal area, disrupts the way the body uses insulin, the hormone responsible for putting glucose into cells to be used as energy. How does fat affect insulin? Insulin acts like a key that opens the door to cells, allowing glucose to enter and be transformed into energy. However, when we have too much accumulated fat, especially in the belly, this key doesn't work properly. This is called insulin resistance. In other words, excess fat makes the body's cells less responsive to insulin, meaning the sugar in the blood can't easily enter the cells. As a result, blood sugar levels remain elevated. The body, noticing this, tries to compensate by producing even more insulin. But over time, this overload can cause the pancreas, the organ that produces insulin, to wear out and struggle to keep up with the demand. Abdominal fat. The most dangerous. Not all fat is the same. The fat that accumulates around the belly, known as visceral fat, is the most dangerous for glucose control. This type of fat releases inflammatory substances that make it even harder for insulin to work. That's why people with excess belly fat are at a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. How to reduce fat and improve insulin sensitivity. The good news is that by reducing excess body fat, especially abdominal fat, you can greatly improve insulin sensitivity and better control your blood sugar levels. Here are some tips to help. Healthy eating. Reducing the consumption of foods high in sugars and bad fats, such as fried foods and sweets, can help you lose weight and improve insulin function. A regular physical activity. Exercise helps burn fat and make cells more sensitive to insulin. This means the body will need less insulin to control glucose levels. Adequate sleep. Getting enough sleep is also important, as a lack of sleep is linked to weight gain and insulin resistance. 6. Medications. Anti-inflammatories and corticosteroids can raise blood sugar levels. Did you know that certain medications can affect your blood sugar levels? This is particularly true for anti-inflammatories and corticosteroids. Let's understand how this happens and what you can do to manage it. What are corticosteroids? Corticosteroids are medications that mimic the hormones produced by your adrenal glands. They are used to treat a variety of conditions, such as allergies, inflammation, autoimmune diseases, and even asthma. While they are very effective at reducing inflammation and improving health, these medications can raise blood sugar levels. How does this happen? When we take corticosteroids, they can cause an increase in glucose production by the liver while also making it harder for insulin to work. This means that, even though your body produces insulin, glucose can still circulate in the blood, raising your sugar levels. Other medications that raise blood sugar. In addition to corticosteroids, Some nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, and even certain blood pressure medications can have this effect. For example, prednisone and dexamethasone are known for raising blood glucose levels. What can you do? If you need to use these medications, don't panic. Here are some tips to manage the situation. Talk to your doctor. Anytime you start a new medication, it's important to discuss how it might affect your blood sugar control. Your doctor may adjust the dosage or offer alternatives. Monitor your blood sugar levels. If you're taking corticosteroids or other medications that can raise your blood sugar, check your blood sugar levels more frequently. This will help you understand how your body is reacting. Adopt healthy habits. Maintain a balanced diet and exercise regularly. These practices can help counteract the effects of medications and improve insulin sensitivity. Never stop taking medications without guidance. Even if you're concerned about your blood sugar levels, never stop or change the dosage of any medication without consulting your doctor. 7. Sedentary lifestyle. Lack of physical exercise makes blood sugar control more difficult. Have you ever thought about how physical exercise can be a powerful ally in managing diabetes? The truth is, a lack of physical activity, or a sedentary lifestyle, can directly affect your blood sugar levels. Let's explore why this happens and how you can change it. What happens when we don't exercise? When you stay inactive for too long, your body doesn't burn calories efficiently, which can lead to increased glucose levels. Muscles act like sponges, absorbing glucose from the blood to generate energy. If you don't use them, that glucose stays in circulation, leading to elevated levels. Benefits of physical activity. Increases insulin sensitivity. Regular exercise helps your body cells become more sensitive to insulin. This means that when you consume sugar, your body can use it more efficiently. Burns calories. Physical activity helps burn calories and, in turn, can aid in weight reduction, which is important for managing diabetes. Improves mood. Besides physical benefits, exercise releases endorphins, which boost your mood and reduce stress, another factor that can raise blood sugar levels. How to get started. If you're not used to exercising, here are some tips to help you begin. Choose activities you enjoy. Whether it's dancing, walking, swimming, or something else fun, the important thing is to get moving. Set a routine. Try to exercise for at least 150 minutes per week. You can break this down into short, manageable sessions like 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. Move throughout the day. If you work at a desk, try standing up and stretching every hour or take a walk during lunch breaks. Find a workout partner. Exercising with friends or in a group can make it more fun and motivating. 8. Surgeries. Surgical interventions increase body stress and blood sugar. When we think about blood sugar control, we often focus on diet and exercise, but surgeries also play a significant role in this scenario. Did you know that undergoing surgery can affect your blood sugar levels? Let's understand how this happens and what you can do to mitigate the effects. What happens during surgery? During surgery, the body undergoes significant stress. Even if the operation is planned, it is an invasive event that can cause pain, anxiety, and physiological changes. In response to this stress, the body releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones help the body cope with the situation but can also increase blood sugar levels. Effects of surgical stress. Increase in blood sugar. Right after surgery, it's common to observe elevated blood sugar levels, especially in people with diabetes. This is due to the physical and emotional stress of the procedure. Wound healing. High blood sugar levels can hinder wound healing. Excess sugar in the blood can impair blood flow and the body's ability to repair tissues. Medication adjustment. After surgery, it might be necessary to adjust medication to control blood sugar, particularly if the levels become too high. It's essential for your doctor to be aware of your diabetes history so they can make the necessary adjustments. What to do before and after surgery. Prepare yourself. If you know you are going to have surgery, talk to your doctor about how it may affect your blood sugar levels. Together, you can plan the best way to manage the situation. Monitor your levels. During and after surgery, it's crucial to closely monitor your blood sugar levels. Inform the medical team of any significant changes. Post-surgery care. After surgery, follow your doctor's guidelines for recovery. This includes maintaining a balanced diet and, when possible, starting light physical activity as soon as your recovery allows. 9. Hormonal changes. Menstruation, puberty, and pregnancy can raise blood sugar levels. Did Did you know that hormonal changes that occur at different stages of life can affect blood sugar levels? Many people don't realize it, but moments like menstruation, puberty, and pregnancy have a significant impact on blood sugar control. Let's explore how this happens. How do hormones affect blood sugar? A menstruation. During the menstrual cycle, women experience fluctuations in hormones like estrogen and progesterone. These changes can lead to a temporary increase in blood sugar levels. Some women notice that their blood sugar levels are higher in the week before their period. This can be frustrating, especially for those already managing diabetes. Puberty. Adolescence is a time of many changes. During puberty, hormones like testosterone and estrogen increase, which can affect how the body uses insulin. Boys and girls may notice that their blood sugar levels are harder to control during this time. It's important to be aware of these changes and adjust diet and medication if needed. Pregnancy. Pregnancy brings many joys, but also significant hormonal changes. During this phase, the placenta produces hormones that can raise blood sugar levels. Some women may develop gestational diabetes, a condition that typically goes away after childbirth but requires careful monitoring during pregnancy. It's essential for pregnant women with diabetes to be aware of the risks and follow medical advice. What can you do? Monitor regularly. If you are going through any of these stages, it is essential to monitor your blood sugar levels more frequently. This helps identify patterns and adjust treatment as needed. Talk to your doctor. Keep an open dialogue with your doctor about how hormonal changes are affecting your blood sugar control. They may suggest adjustments to your medication or diet. A balanced diet. During these phases, a balanced diet is even more crucial. Opt for foods with a low glycemic index and rich in fiber to help keep blood sugar levels more stable. 10. Smoking. Smoking increases insulin resistance. Smoking is a habit that brings many health risks, and one of them is directly related to diabetes. Many people don't realize it, but smoking can affect how the body uses insulin, making blood sugar control even more difficult. Let's understand how this happens. The impact of smoking on insulin. Insulin resistance. When someone smokes, the body can become more resistant to insulin. This means that insulin, the hormone responsible for helping sugar enter the cells, doesn't work as well. As a result, glucose builds up in the bloodstream, raising blood sugar levels. For those already living with diabetes, this can be a significant issue. Inflammation and oxidative stress. Smoking also increases inflammation in the body and generates oxidative stress, two factors that further impair the body's ability to use insulin. This combination can lead to poorly controlled blood sugar levels and increase the risk of diabetes-related complications. A cardiovascular risk. In addition to affecting insulin, smoking raises the risk of cardiovascular diseases. This is especially concerning for people with diabetes, as they already have a higher risk of heart problems. Smoking can make this situation worse, increasing the likelihood of heart attacks and strokes. What can you do? Quit smoking. If you smoke, the best thing you can do for your health is to quit. There are various strategies and resources available to help with this process, from therapies to medications. Talking to a doctor can be a good first step. Seek support. Don't hesitate to seek support, whether from friends, family, or support groups. Having people by your side can make the journey to quit smoking easier. Maintain a healthy lifestyle. In addition to quitting smoking, adopting a healthy lifestyle is essential. This includes a balanced diet, regular exercise, and monitoring blood sugar levels. These changes can help improve insulin sensitivity and keep blood sugar under control. 11. Genetics. Genetic factors strongly influence diabetes predisposition. Genetics plays a crucial role in our health, especially when it comes to diabetes. While many factors can contribute to the development of the disease, genetic inheritance can be one of the most significant. Let's explore how genetics influences the predisposition to diabetes and what it means for you. The influence of genetics. Family history. If you have close family members, like parents or siblings, who have diabetes, your chances of developing the disease increase. Studies show that up to 75% of people with type 2 diabetes have a relative who also has diabetes. This happens because certain genetic traits that affect insulin production and function can be inherited. Insulin resistance. Some people are born with a predisposition to being more insulin resistant. This means that even when insulin is present, the body may have difficulty using it correctly. This resistance can lead to elevated blood glucose levels and, over time, contribute to the development of diabetes. Type 1 diabetes. Although genetics also plays a role in type 1 diabetes, this type is more complex. It involves an autoimmune response where the body attacks its own insulin-producing cells. The presence of certain genes can increase the predisposition, but other factors, like infections, are also involved. What can you do? Monitor your health. If you have a family history of diabetes, it's important to regularly monitor your health. Blood sugar tests and medical checkups can help detect any changes early. Adopt healthy habits. Regardless of your genetics, adopting a healthy lifestyle can make a big difference. Maintaining a balanced diet, exercising regularly, and avoiding smoking are measures that help prevent diabetes, even in people with a genetic predisposition. Education and awareness. Knowing your family history and the risks associated with diabetes can help you prepare better. Education about the disease and its complications is essential so you can make informed decisions about your health. So, everyone, did you like the tips? Remember, factors such as stress, lack of routine, simple carbohydrates, infections, body fat, medications, inactivity, surgeries, hormonal changes, smoking, and genetics can all affect your blood sugar levels. Taking care of each of these aspects is crucial to maintaining your health and avoiding complications. Let's keep an eye on them and make healthier choices together. Thanks for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep receiving more content. See you in the next video.